This is Valley News Live at 5.
We begin with breaking news on this Friday as an email sent to parents from an Oak Grove Lutheran president, Michael Slutty, indicated that a teacher is being investigated for allegedly using their cell phone inappropriately in a classroom. Now, the teacher is not named in the email, but it indicated that the North Campus educator was placed on administrative leave. Slutty says Oak Grove is fully cooperating with police in the investigation and is taking measures to protect the safety and privacy of students while also respecting the rights of the teacher.
He's on his way home. He wants to get on with his life. He has a huge sense of relief for what the jury did to him today.
That was Kyle Rittenhouse's attorney who spoke after his client was found not guilty on all counts. That's the decision of a dozen jurors in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The teenager who shot and killed 2 people and injured a third last August is free tonight. Isabel Rosales is in Kenosha with the very latest.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Kyle Rittenhouse found not guilty on all charges by a jury in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The verdict coming after roughly 25 hours of deliberation by the panel of 5 men and 7 women. Rittenhouse was accused of first-degree intentional homicide and 4 other felony charges. The shooting came in the wake of unrest in Kenosha following the police shooting of Jacob Blake, a 29-year-old black man. Rittenhouse traveled to Kenosha and was given an AR-15 style rifle by a friend. After a crowd pursued him, he shot 3 people, killing Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber and injuring Gage Grosskreutz. He also shot at an unidentified man who kicked him and tried to flee. Rittenhouse claims self-defense.
I didn't do anything wrong. I defended myself.
The prosecution called 22 witnesses, hoping to show that Rittenhouse provoked those around him, leading to the shooting. Defense attorneys arguing that Rittenhouse was under attack and had no other choice in order to save his own life.
What is wrong with this system?
In anticipation of a verdict, the governor of Wisconsin put 500 National Guard troops on standby.
Turning our attention now to the weather. Not too bad out there today. Maybe a little breezier than most would like. Let's find out tonight's conditions. Hutch is here with the details. Hutch?
A spectacular way to close out the work week. And last night, well, some of us did get a chance to see that partial eclipse of the full moon. That happened between 1 a.m. and about 5 a.m. this morning. A few clouds streaming in, but this shot here shared to us by Lisa in the Stephen, Minnesota area up in Marshall County. Gorgeous shot there. Thanks for sharing. Here's a look at our gorgeous setting sun on a beautiful day. Just a few high clouds out there. Here's a look at the satellite, and there are those high clouds, mainly up to the north, where we do have a couple of spits of snow showers not far from you in Lake of the Woods. I can't rule out 1 or 2 flurries up north, but by and large, we're very quiet. Hutch's freezing line in white there. North of that, it's below freezing, but most of us still enjoying 30s and yes, even 40s here in the Southern Valley and out to the west. Temperatures slipping into the 20s as we go through the late night hours after sunset. All in all, we're going to see some clouds in our forecast, maybe some overnight fog, but big changes for the weekend, Mike, as a cold front will bring flakes and wind and cold. Details here in a moment.
All right, we'll look forward to that. Thanks, Hutch. We now know the name of the woman who died in a crash in Polk County. Authorities identified her as 21-year-old Hazel Buckanaga. She was not wearing a seatbelt, according to investigators. Her passenger, 21-year-old Iana White, was hurt but is expected to be okay. That crash happened early Wednesday morning in Climax. Authorities say that the 2 women were traveling on U.S. Highway 75 when their Chevrolet Equinox left a roadway and hit a culvert. We also know the cause of a fire that tore through a building north of Dilworth. It happened Thursday night in the 4800 block of 50th Street North. The fire marshal says a faulty extension cord likely started the blaze. Minnesota's Attorney General says that his office settled 2 lawsuits against 2 businesses that violated or threatened to violate executive orders during the COVID-19 peacetime emergency. And one of those businesses is in East Grand Forks. Boardwalk Bar and Grill must pay a $25,000 fine. They also are required to serve a 30-day suspension for its liquor and food and licenses in separate settlements it entered with the Departments of Public Safety and Health. The Attorney General's office filed a lawsuit against Boardwalk in December of 2020 for opening its doors for in-person dining. even though that was not allowed under the governor's executive order. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, along with the Food and Drug Administration, both agree that all fully vaccinated adults in the United States can now get a COVID-19 booster. Previously, only those who were 65 years and older and adults who were at high risk of getting the disease were eligible. Officials at the CDC voted unanimously to open these shots to all adults 6 months after they complete a full course of coronavirus vaccinations. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration says it's suspending its enforcement of the Biden administration's new rules ordering large employers to require vaccines or undergo weekly COVID testing. It comes after an appeals court ordered OSHA to stop pushing the new rules until there is more direction from the courts. Doctors at a Fargo hospital now have the potential to detect early lung cancer in patients better than ever before, and it's all thanks to a robot. Essentia Health is the first hospital in North Dakota to receive the technology, which is actually controlled by what looks like an Xbox controller, and helps doctors get to harder to reach areas and smaller nodules, which means less time for patients waiting in limbo.
With a robot, we can usually biopsy it sooner rather than later. So instead of waiting for another CAT scan 6 months down the line and then find out, well, the nodule grew, we would be able to try to get there much sooner than that.
Dr. Kremen says that the robot already has been used on 5 patients and helped detect at least one early case of cancer. NDSU's College of Agriculture is taking a huge step forward as the school broke ground on an $85 million Ag Project Development Center. It's going to be located on the southwest corner of the campus. The Peltier Complex will be a state-of-the-art facility to help promote, develop, and market crops grown in North and South Dakota, as well as Minnesota and Montana. The North Dakota legislature approved $70 million for the completion of the facility and authorized an additional $15 million in fundraising.
On this vote, the yeas are 220, the nays are 213. The Build Back Better bill is passed.
President Biden's Build Back Better bill has passed in the House of Representatives. The massive $1.9 trillion social safety net bill passed by a margin of 7 votes.
This bill is monumental. It's historic, it's transformative, it's bigger than anything we've ever done.
Among the many provisions, the Build Back Better Act would create a universal pre-K program, extend the enhanced child tax credit, and expand access to health care, affordable housing, and home care for seniors and people with disabilities. Democrats say these items are urgently needed, but Republicans have decried the legislation as reckless spending.
Speaker Pelosi has crammed even more radical policies into a partisan bill that costs trillions in dollars we don't have, for government-run programs that nobody wants.
The bill now heads to the U.S. Senate, where it will likely undergo some changes, but Democrats hope to send the bill to the president's desk by Christmas. Later on Valley News Live at 5. Still need to get your Thanksgiving bird? We went shopping earlier today, and we'll offer up several price comparisons.
And as we close out the work week with temperatures that really rose into the 40s out to the west, looks like we'll get one more good day, and then by the end of the day tomorrow, some big time changes to close out the weekend. Your hour-by-hour forecast is next.